in their throats as he goes in and starts taking chances to throw.
McKinney is a weak fighter now. Barrera knows it.
And that's it.
A fitting end to a great prize fight.
It's a great fight, son. That's a great fight, son. You got the best card I've ever seen.
The referee say to McKinney, great fight, son. That's the best fight I have ever seen.
I think he said you got the best heart I've ever seen.
You may be right.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. You got the best heart I've ever seen. We'll check it. It was something along those lines, and it was well said. Now let's take a look at the action from earlier in the 12th round.
All these guys,
Was a good right hand, but he did slip, I think.
That one was counted as a knockdown by Pat Russell. Now here's the body shot, and that, I think, ultimately finished the fight.
I think so, too, because I told you back in about round 6 or 7 that you had to throw body shots.
And here's the end. And I think Kennedy McKinney, in addition to being out on his feet from punching by Barrera, was also exhausted, Roy.
Yeah, he was very exhausted. The body shots are taking a lot out of him. This is what I told you would be dangerous about a long fight for McKinney. If he didn't hit Barrera's body, Barrera continued to pound on McKinney's body, and it told on the end.
But even though he gets the second loss of his career, you got to be proud of your old buddy for his guts and his effort.
I am very, very proud of him. I told you he would never back down from nobody. I told you he would give a gallant effort, and he did everything and more than I could ever have dreamed of.
And now the crowd pays tribute to a fantastic young talent, 22-year-old Marco Barrera, and as he showed, he's a man in there. Total punches in the fight. Barrera landing 77 more, throwing 60 more, landing exactly 50% of his punches. Right now, let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 5 seconds of the last round, round 12. The winner by knockout victory, and still the undefeated junior featherweight champion of the world, Marco Antonio Barrera.
That was one of the better fights that I think I've ever witnessed in my life. For an old Olympic teammate, he makes me feel good to say that he was on my Olympic team.
Well, I guess the time was right for Boxing After Dark.
Couldn't have picked a better fight.
You said that at the beginning of the evening. You said that we could not have picked a better fight for our first attraction here on Boxing After Dark, and as it turned out, you couldn't have been more right.
I call him like I see him, and that's the way I saw that one.
And now Larry stands by with the victorious Marco Antonio Barrera.
Congratulations, Marco. Did he fight you better and tougher than you thought he would?
¿Te peleó él mejor que lo que tú creías que iba a ser? Pues no, yo esperaba una pelea similar porque Kenny McKinney es, como lo dije, un gran peleador, lo demostró. I expected the fight just the way it was because McKinney's the grand champion. He demonstrated that.
And yet, at the end of the fight, you seemed so bitter that you wouldn't shake hands with him despite that. Tell us why.
Sabiendo que él es un gran campeón y ahora a última hora, después que vino a felicitarte, no le diste la mano. ¿Por qué? Porque él me ofendió en frente de todo el público mexicano. Because he offended me in front of the Mexican public, and I was very angry at that.
He hit you with many, many big right hands.
Okay. Now we got it. Okay. Ahora sí, ya se olvidó.
All right. Kennedy, you've seen a lot of fighters in your day. You've fought a lot of hard fights. Tell us what you think of the young man you fought tonight.
Tough fighter, good fighter. I just think the age was the difference. 22 years old, I'm 30. But, I mean, what can I say? I had a layoff of a year, and I think that hurt me more than anything.
You hit him with a lot of your best shots, but he just seems to take everything.
He was good. I mean, I give the kid a lot of credit. He'll be good. I don't know if he's the next Chavez, but he's close to it.
Are you going to continue to fight after this?
Why not? I mean, I put up a good show. I want a rematch. Can I have a rematch? Can I have a rematch?
Claro.
Well, I got to tell you,
Train a good fighter, he's a hard fighter. Because he'll give him a rematch. Maybe in the future he's going to be the champion in the world.
thank you very much. And I got to say that everybody saw this fight. Would certainly love to see it again.
I had everybody in Memphis. Hey, I didn't get that one, but I'll be back.
Thank you very much, Kennedy.
Thank you.
Good job, He hit you with a lot of hard shots. Did he ever hurt you?
No me dio ningún golpe duro, pero sí me estuvo golpeando constantemente. He didn't hit me with a real hard shot. He didn't stun me, but he did hit a lot of tough shots.
He seemed to be able to dictate what was happening in there with his jab. Were you surprised by that?
Con el jab estaba dictando la pelea. ¿Se sorprendió que hizo eso? No, yo ya sabía que él iba a salir a dar lo mejor de él. Y pues como yo lo dije en la conferencia de prensa, dice que él no va a venir hasta el 12º round. He said he knew that that's the way he was going to fight, dictating the pace with his jab. But like I said in the press conference, the knockout would come out in the 12th round.
You felt that you would wear him down.
¿Tú sentiste que lo ibas a debilitar mientras iba la pelea? Sí, yo sentía que sí, pero fue un poco difícil darle mi golpeo abajo. Entonces tuvimos que concentrar un poco arriba. Yeah, I figured that's the way it would be, but it was kind of hard to hit him in the body because he was afraid of the low blow, so he went to upstairs.
Thank you for a great fight.
Muchas gracias, Marco. Buena pelea, gran pelea.
All right, Jim, I did check with the referee, and he did say that he told McKinney that he did have as big a heart as any fighter he ever saw.
All right, thanks very much, Larry. And that's pretty much a fitting postscript on the effort put forth here tonight by Kennedy McKinney. Once again, he won an Olympic gold medal back in Seoul, South Korea, when he was on the same team with this man, the great Roy Jones. We know what you think of Kennedy McKinney. What do you think of Marco Antonio Barrera?
Well, like I said before, I've said it over and over and over again. I see Marco Antonio Barrera as one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world today. Simple as that.
Will his body take him up from 122 as far as maybe 135 pounds at some point in his career, where he can begin to get bigger exposure and the kind of money that kind of greatness ought to deserve?
No, I don't think so, because he's only about 5'5", and the way his body seems to be built, he would have to almost be fat or get muscle bound to comfortably make 135 pounds.
So let's appreciate him right where he is. And we'll appreciate you for another great job, Roy. We'll see you on the next edition of Boxing After Dark.
Thank you very much.
Quite welcome. Roy Jones, Jr., and we turn now to Larry Merchant, who's made his way down from the ring. Well, you said it all, and as you said early in the fight, it doesn't get any better than that. What are your final thoughts on a tremendous war?
I think Boxing After Dark has a future. Can we bring him back next time?
Let's not promise that they're all going to be like that one.
Well, we'll take this for starters. I guess the only thought I have is that recently the astronomers found 40 billion more galaxies out there in the heavens. But I guarantee you, if there are any planets out there with prize fighters, they never fought a better fight than they saw tonight. All of us are high. We celebrate these great athletes for what they put themselves through for our entertainment and for their satisfaction. And all we can say is the way to go.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Well, we'll have a final word on boxing in just a moment. Right now, let's look ahead.